Let's have a session on synergy. So synergy is essentially when the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. We see it sometimes as 1 + 1 = 3. So the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. And where you'd use synergy, you'd use it as an advantage of a merger or takeover, when two companies join together or one takes over another company. So it might be a pro of that you'd get synergy if you're thinking about where you'd use it in those essays. Now, synergies can come from either the cost side or the revenue side, but the cost side is much more common, and we're going to give some specific examples of cost synergies right now. So an example of a cost synergy: you've got two businesses, business A and business B. They both have one headquarters, HQ, they have one board of directors, and they have one of each of those functional areas, being operations, marketing, finance, and HR. Now, let's say that business A and business B decide to merge. If they merge, then they can get cost savings, because they don't need to have two HQs, they don't need to have two board of directors, they need to have one of each of these things. So they can have cost savings, and cost savings have therefore occurred. And so you have realised cost synergies. So cost synergies have occurred. That's clearly the benefit of this merger. Another example of cost synergies. So you've got two businesses, business A and business B. They both order 1 million units from the same supplier, supplier C, both at £1 per unit. Now let's just say that business A decides to perform a takeover of business B, but they still need to use the same supplier. But now their negotiating power is going to be much stronger, because they're not buying, business A is no longer buying 1 million units from supplier C, because they've performed a takeover of business B now. So they're going to order 2 million units from supplier C. They've got stronger negotiating power, and they're going to try and power down that price from £1 per unit to something under that, less than £1 per unit. So essentially, they have got purchasing economies of scale. So business A performs a takeover of business B. They can now have more negotiating power over the supplier, and they may be able to make an order of 2 million units at less than £1 per unit. Again, this is an example of cost synergies, and it's because of purchasing economies of scale. Struggling with that concept? Click the card up there. So that's the benefit of this takeover. You've realised cost synergies. So I hope that helps some synergies, and I'll see you at the next sesh.